What is going on? Welcome, guys. How is everybody doing today? Happy Thursday.
Happy
Aaron, I
Thursday.
love
Hi,
seeing your
everyone.
face. Parisa, did I get that right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Did I
sir.
get that
How are
right?
you? Yep. So what's your decision? Growing or cutting?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask everybody. I don't know if everybody
Grow,
saw the poll.
grow,
I did a
grow,
poll.
grow, grow. Make it look all crazy.
Dude,
I
well,
love it.
it'll be tamed. It'll be tamed. But yeah, I should figure out how to put a poll in here. I don't know who all has seen me clean cut with like a clean cut military haircut. Well, I guess you have. It's on my social media pictures. That's what I look like clean cut. And I was putting a poll out last night and I was thinking, I was like, man, should I keep growing it out or should I cut it? I was watching Ron last night and I was watching Drew last night. And for those of you guys that don't know, myself, Amber, Kevin, we are putting together we put together a speaking competition that's been going on the last handful of months. And this speaking competition came about because Amber, Kevin, and myself are all speaking at an event in Orlando at the end of the year. A really big event. It's actually, Amber, is it at one of the Hiltons? Is that where it is?
Orlando Hilton. Yep.
Orlando Hilton, which is like one of the highest caliber. I don't. How do you word it? How do you describe it? It's a really awesome place. We'll just say that it's a really awesome place, and we'll be speaking there. And we thought, you know what would be really really cool? One of the things. Here we go. I'm going to drop some bombs right here. I want you guys to write this down. Everybody, write this stuff down. We're 2 seconds in here. I'm going to give you guys something. A lot of people think that when you start getting on stages and you start speaking and you start inviting to speak and you're doing all these things, when you see somebody on stage, you think from an audience's perspective or somebody that hasn't done it. And I thought the same thing. And that's why I want to share this with you guys. For those of you guys, by the way, real quick, before I get too far into the story, is there anybody who this is your first time on this Zoom? Put a 1 in the chat if this is your guys' first time on the Zoom. I'm curious. Is everybody here reoccurring? Does everybody here kind of get and understand the vibe? Alicia, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. So we do these Zooms every single Thursday. I'm a huge fan. I guess this kind of leads into the story of Orlando. Grow it out. Grow it out. Um, when I look back at my real estate investing journey and some of the things that I was lacking, some of the things that I needed, I really could have benefited from having a Zoom like this where I could just come in here. I could ask questions. I could be vulnerable. I could be surrounded by people that love me and that appreciate me, people that take action. Because entrepreneurship is so stinking lonely. It is hard enough in and of itself. But my goodness, when you're around the right people, when you have the right accountability and the right information, you can get the right strategy. It just makes the experience that much sweeter. So we do these every single Thursday for just that. And I've always, whenever I look at some of the things that I needed when I was at earlier stages in my investing journey, whether that was last week or years ago, I always do things from the perspective of how can I serve others in a way that I would have needed when I was going through that or in that position. So that's what these Thursday Zooms are for. In addition to the speaking competition, something I hired Dan Martell as a coach. And something that Dan Martell shared with me that I share with my clients and that I will share with you guys is whether you're building a bowling alley or a real estate business, there's a couple different things that you need to focus on. And one of those things being getting on more stages. Like, what if that was the strategy? What if getting on more stages was the actual strategy to growing your business? Now, stages obviously doesn't have to be just limited to an actual physical stage. But what else? Put it in the chat. What else could a stage be? Pansy, hit the nail on the head. Stage could be a podcast.
Yeah.
It could be a Zoom. It could be a networking event. What if that was the strategy? How would that change how you show up? How would that change what questions you ask? How would that change what you decide to do here today? To grow your real estate business, you need more money and you need more deals. That's it. You don't need a list. You don't need a skip trace. You don't need the perfect CRM. You don't need any of that stuff. You don't need to be door knocking. You don't need to be cold calling. The only thing you need is a deal and money. That's it. Those are the only two things that you guys need. When we strip everything away, when you audit your time and you look at what did I spend my time doing today? Well, I spend my day underwriting, or I spend my day cold calling, or I spend my day door knocking, whatever it is. Those are $10 an hour tasks. And you not having somebody to call is not the reason why you're not closing a deal. How many of you guys have just scrolled on Facebook and just seen deals everywhere, everywhere, everywhere? I've purchased deals just by scrolling on Facebook. And I didn't have to call a seller. I didn't have to call an agent. I didn't have to call anybody. Somebody else already did and had it locked up. They were looking for a buyer. So all I had to do was go find the money. So how much easier is it to go raise money if you're on a stage? If you're speaking on a stage in front of 1,000 people for 15 or 20 minutes, does that give you guys instant credibility? Does that get you seen in front of more people? How long would it have taken you to build credibility with 1,000 people doing it any other way other than being on a stage? So wouldn't it make sense that that becomes the thing that you focus on? Alicia says, I have the money, just need consistent deal flow. Great. What if you were on a stage in front of 1,000 other investors who were looking for buyers? And you could put your QR code up on stage during your introduction and say, hey, make sure you follow me. Here's my buy box. Here's what I need. Here's where you guys can send deals. And because of the perception of you being on stage, you just get flooded now. So again, all of this to say that this is kind of a weird way tying this back to my hair here. You guys are all along for the ride. You know how we do every Thursday. Welcome. So we thought, man, you know what? With us doing this and us seeing our business grow by focusing on this, I bet there are other people that would also benefit. There's probably a lot of people who think that they have to be at a certain place in their business in order for it to grow, or in order for them to be invited to even speak on a stage. But that's not the case. And so we thought, man, well, while we are speaking in Orlando at the end of the year, let's hold a speaker competition and give somebody the chance who otherwise maybe would have never had an opportunity like this, because there's no other higher ROI when building any kind of a business than having that kind of opportunity. So last night on our speaker competition, I saw Drew, I saw Ron. Guys both freaking killed it, by the way. Phenomenal job. And man, they just looked good. They dressed the part. They looked like $1 million. And right then and there, as if their talks and speeches weren't good enough, I thought to myself, dang, I gotta check myself. I gotta get on their level. So I put out a poll last night and I'm like, man, guys, should I get a haircut? Should I not get a haircut? By the way, Amber, I saw your poll and you told me to cut it. Oh, I thought we were friends.
You didn't judge anybody's response. You literally said on your Facebook post, say what you want. Like give. So I did not post on the Facebook, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to respond to this poll and I'm going to tell the truth of what I think. But I don't know, Jesse, you're rejecting my truth. Is that what's happening?
Not at all. Not at all. I appreciate it. So, if you wouldn't mind, I would actually legit love to love like some input on here because I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go with whatever the crowd wants because I'm good either way. I'm comfortable either way. I love either way. But I just thought this might be a fun thing just to kind of mix things up because I live in Alaska and there aren't a whole lot of things I do every single day to shake things up. So maybe cut my hair might be one of those things. Anyway, guys, welcome. Happy Thursday. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Amber, how are you today? You look good, friend. You made it back safe and sound yesterday, yeah?
Yeah, like the middle of the night. So I'm good, but rocking and rolling, ready for the weekend. Can't complain. I was
I
just
love
in
it.
Iowa for those of you who don't know with my W-2, and I had never been there before. I don't know if any of you have. Some people on Facebook were like, "Where is Iowa even located?" Which is interesting. So, yeah, it's I loved it. I love the sweet corn there. I hated the heat, but all my Uber drivers wanted me to move, and y'all know how I am with Uber drivers. I really connect with them, and they were like, "Move here. Why don't you just move here?" And I'm thinking, okay, if you want to partner with with me in real estate, then maybe I will. I didn't say that. I was just thinking it.
If you guys don't know, Amber is a hell of a capital raiser. She's absolutely phenomenal. She's amazing. We did an event in Vegas last year, and she came in one morning, and everyone's just BSing, just enjoying talking about what we did the night before and what we were learning the day before. And Amber comes in, and in the first 5 seconds of her walking through the threshold of that room, she's like, "Hey guys, I just raised $500,000 for my Uber driver." What? And that got everybody's attention really, really quick. So you guys are definitely, if that's something you guys want to focus on, make sure you guys are here every Thursday. We've got a lot of really cool things that we go over to include capital raising. So thank you for that, Amber. I appreciate it. So real quick, I want to let's kind of dive in a little bit. I don't know that we've had an official Zoom where we've kind of debriefed Salt Lake to my recollection. So I thought maybe we'd take a couple seconds this morning and just kind of do that. From your perspective, and then Amber and I are going to take you guys through maybe an exercise or two. I hope you guys gain some clarity today. Salt Lake was a really, really phenomenal experience. For those of you guys that don't know, Amber, myself, Kevin, and our other friend Creighton, we put an event on in Salt Lake a couple weeks ago that was, I mean, I may be biased, but I think it was the most transformative experience I've ever seen come out of any kind of a real estate event. Or you know what? I would say event, period.
What we wanted, right? And it was so hard when we were talking about it ahead of time, like to be able to say, hey, we know we can offer transformation. Like that's a hard thing to talk about. And I'm
Right.
wondering if people didn't believe that. But I knew in my heart what we had been talking about and planning for and meeting about every week. So I think you knew that. Like I was just so sure about it because I felt like we were all bringing our whole selves, like our brains and our hearts and our experiences and our wisdom. And so I was like, this has to be helpful. This has to get people to the other side of their pain points. And so it's hard. It's hard to describe that. It's easier now that the event's over, but it's hard to talk about it before it happens.
For sure. For sure. I think when it comes to bottlenecks, I think a lot of people think it's a tactical thing. It's like, I don't have enough leads, or I can't underwrite, or I don't know how to do this, or when in reality, it's not. It's this whole game is just 90% mindset. And that's what happened down in Salt Lake. When you come back from an event like that and you execute not from the person that you were, but from the person that you want to become, like that all of a sudden becomes your new mindset. When you wake up the next morning, you make decisions not based on where you're currently at or what you traditionally would have done, but you make decisions based on who you want to be, the things that you focus on that day, even the action steps that you take that day are based on who you want to become and not based on who you are, where you are right now. Amber and I were in an accountability call with our accountability group a couple of days ago. And we got to have a really awesome conversation. I think there was some breakthrough there of being able to showcase what they're doing right now versus who they want to become are two different things. So it's similar along the same mindset of what I was talking about earlier. You want to get on stages. How much faster would your business thrive if that became the focus? Because you know that there's a higher ROI. 15 minutes in front of 100 people, 50 people, 20 people, 1,000 people has a much, much higher ROI than doing it individually or waiting to feel, right? Like we take action based on how we feel. If we feel like an imposter, then we're not going to do this thing. If we feel like we're not worthy, then we're not going to do this thing. If we don't have anybody in our corner to support us to make these bigger leaps, then we're not going to do that thing. We're going to shrink and we're going to play small.
Completely agree. And I also think, and I know we're not really talking about that today, but I just wanted to give a shout out. I did it in the chat, in the Salt Lake City chat, but social media is a stage too. And some of the people that came to Salt Lake City, I'm seeing their social media growth. I'm sure they can see their views growing, because there's no way that you're in that, like, you're hitting it that hard and people aren't noticing and people aren't seeing it. And I just want to call out like Aaron and Peter and Ron. Like, I see you guys. Like, your social media is like hitting. It's like everywhere I turn, and I'm sure I'm in your algorithm at this point, but everywhere I turn, you're having another video out. And so you're like top of mind for me. Like, it's like boom, 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 boom. And that is magical. Like, that is what people start noticing. That is what brings you credibility, in addition to these other things, in addition to a book or a podcast or actually standing on stage in a workshop or an event.
Social media is the other thing with the highest ROI. And so if you had clarity on who you were or who you want to be, Kev, what's up, buddy? It's good to see you. So if you had clarity on who you wanted to be and you were going to take action from that perspective today, what would even your social media look like? What would you prioritize? How would you speak? How would you speak to the camera? If you had clarity on who you were and what your strengths were, how fast could you go from idea to execution? You know, one of the things I like to share statistics and KPIs and fractions and percentages and things like that, because I'm a visual kind of guy. And so just sharing those things really helps put things into perspective for me. And to go make $1 million, guys, you got to be 1 out of 1,000 people. 1 out of 1,000. So for those of you guys that were at Squat Up, there was 3,000 people at that event. There's only 2 other people statistically in that audience that is going to move and think in a way that is going to separate themselves enough to create enough opportunity in the marketplace, be enough of a leader to persuade enough people to solve the caliber of problems that warrant a 7-figure payday. And it requires massive, massive, massive action. Do you know, if you personally want to go make $1 million, just so you can visualize this, you have to go create $10 million worth of value in the marketplace. So let that sink in for a second. So if you had that kind of clarity, how would that change what you're currently working on today, or what you're working on this week, or what you're wanting to even accomplish by the end of the year, or what you think you can accomplish by the end of the year? Had a really good sit down with Ron and Aaron at our VIP Salt Lake event. And man, it was awesome to see the transformation that came out of Ron. And what was it, Aaron? Like, because you had to step out, you had to take a phone call real quick. It was like 5 minutes, 10 minutes or something like that. You came back and it was like, it's like, holy shit, man.
Like a new person. I was like, Where did this epiphany come from? It happened so fast.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I really appreciate you for putting yourself out there and for stepping up, Ron.
Well, that was the beauty of this conference, is to get that. And you guys, Amber, Jesse, Kevin, Craig, you guys all really helped me focus on that. And I'm so grateful for it.
I just want to step in and acknowledge both Ron, Aaron. You were highlighted as VIPs in that experience, which means a little deeper dive. So we got to double click, really test, really challenge some of the thinking. Ron, you specifically, and I'll get to Aaron in a minute, but what challenged you even in that first day that was just for VIP? Meaning, what level of thinking might you have started and where were you challenged by us just in that first half a day?
I was looking at my how to scale up from a more broader sense. I wasn't focusing on the thing I should focus on, right? It's like, okay, why am I getting into self-storage? Oh, it's to make money and build a portfolio. Okay, let's go a little deeper, and who are you gonna help? Who are you gonna serve? And that's where the magic really started to unfold. And that's where I got my Mount Everest from. You guys helped me realize that. And once I did and was able to leverage your coaching and a little bit of AI, that's where things just kind of really shifted. So that's when Erin came back. She's like, whoa, what happened? So that was great. Yeah. So that was it. Really, that was the epiphany I needed. And from that moment on, it just felt like I absorbed everything else and got out of my own way. I was able to leave those self-made roadblocks behind, which Kevin, you helped, every time. I think it was after day one, we couldn't leave the room until we had to leave something behind in the room that never gonna,
We're not going back.
Not going back. Right.
I want to highlight here, Ron, you brought up self-storage. For many people, it's like, who's that going to help? These boring little boxes that people need to put stuff into. How do I tie that to a bigger cause or something that could contribute to the world in a much more massive way? And I can understand that level of thinking, by the way. Fully get it. It's like, these boring little boxes that people store their stuff in that they're not necessarily using. I remember sitting down with you and highlighting, what if I had a certain number of units that were set aside and those were dedicated to a very specific segment of our community? And we use that to store, whether it's beds that people need when they're going through transitional housing. Maybe it's to store necessary items needed for elderly care. Okay. And we could go on and on, but there's creative ways when you start thinking outside of what is it that I'm getting? And we start looking at what am I more aligned to contributing towards? That self-storage just becomes a vehicle creatively that we could give back. And that's the type of thinking I want to be coming from when Jesse's mentioning, if I need to get at least 10 million in top line revenue in order to be taken home somewhere above 7 figures, I'm going to need to think outside the box than just what do I get, right? It's who do I give to? Where's the value get to show up for that 10 million? And Ron, I know I'm picking on you a little bit here, but I'm using you as a vehicle for everyone else. Is where have I been playing small in the thinking of what do I get? Where's my passive income? Where's my cash flow? Where's my network going to build? My net flow, my net worth. And it's like, I got to focus out. I've been thinking so much inward. What if I turned it outward and started expanding? Benjamin Hardy, loved this guy. Had the opportunity to bump into him at an airport one time. Long story short, though, a big fan of his work. He likes to say impossible goals will stretch you. Very similar to Jim Collins' Good to Great. He calls it a BHAG, a big, audacious, hairy goal. our big hairy ass goal. The way that we set things that are realistic makes us feel safe. It's like, oh, I just need to get to 10. If you ask anybody, by the way, what's your net number that you need to get to? Everybody always tells me 10 grand a month. If I had $100 for every time somebody said, oh, I just need to get to 10 grand a month, man, I'd be a millionaire, because it's like everybody chooses this nice round number. Or if you say you're going to scale, how big are you going to go? Oh, 10x. Why not 11.8625x? You know, like, why do we always land on this 10? And it's because it's something I can conceive. It's something that's realistic, even though it's a stretch. And I would go farther. Like, what is it that's outside of the realm that feels comfortable, seems even predictable? And how would that then change the approach I'm willing to take? Now we can go farther into some of Benjamin Hardy's frameworks with looking at time as a tool. How do we raise our standards? What's the team need in order to, kind of move in such a way that's going to break things? But I like looking at first that goal to be set needs to feel such a stretch that it almost feels impossible. How are we ever going to get to the moon? We'll figure it out. Now, Ron, I hope you received some of that. We were really looking to push you when you were there, and I feel like you got to a different place than you came in with.
I
And
totally,
that's what we call.
I totally,
Go ahead.
absolutely. And it's already had an impact. The storage community that I'm in, I told my Mount Everest to them, and they were like taken aback. So I know it's already had an impact. It was beautiful. It was just like, so it made them think about, well, what could they attain? What could they use their business scaling to achieve? I mean, maybe they'll do the same thing for the communities that they serve. So great. I hope it does, really. So thank you.
For everybody who doesn't know, would you mind sharing what was your Mount Everest before Salt Lake? And then what was it when we all sat down to what it is right now?
Really didn't have an Mount Everest other than just trying to build a business. And so that's what I struggled with the most, is just trying to figure that, what could it be? And then once I came and had my sit down with the four of you, and you guys helped me, you guided me in the right places. That was, this really was a huge game changer. So my Mount Everest is to help 1 million people that are in distressed situations, whether they're homeless, facing homelessness and domestic abuse situations, or whatever it is. And each facility that I own, I'll donate 5% of those storage units for them, no cost to them, for a period of time. And on top of that, and this is something I didn't think about at the time we had our coaching session, but a percentage of profits will also go to help those non-for-profits, those shelters, those other organizations that help those distressed folks as well.
Now, having that level of clarity, bravo, by the way, for those of you guys that don't know, I remember we sat down, we're hounding Ron about this in a good way, going over it, and we're like, hey, what do you want it to be? What do you want it to be? And as we kind of iterated, at one point, Ron was like, well, I want to own 5 storage facilities. So I want you guys to listen how his Mount Everest went from, I want to own 5 storage facilities over the next 5 years, to helping out 1 million people. Now, do you get to see when we shift the focus in our goals on impact over money or X amount of deals or something like that? Do you guys does it make sense how the money just becomes a byproduct now? 1 million people. Can we measure that? Absolutely, we can. Donating 5% of each facility towards helping those kind of individuals. Can we measure that? Abso-freaking-lutely we can. Is it a lot easier to see now how, as Ron is building out this dream, the impact that he wants to create, is it way easier to track the $10 million worth of value that he has to bring to the marketplace in order for him to make 7 figures? Does all this make sense to everybody? We shift our thinking, we shift our plan, we shift our priority, we shift the way that we execute, and all of a sudden, oh my goodness, Everything freaking changes. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate you, bro. I think that was a big part of Salt Lake. When I think about it, I'm not like a big video game guy, but this was just kind of helped me. This thought was something that kind of helped me think about what Salt Lake was and what it does. People throw out, I want $1 million. I want $1 million. When was the last time you talked to somebody who didn't say, I want to make $1 million in real estate? Can't even think of a time. It's like every person I talk to. I get it. So we want to get to level 10. Like if we're talking about like Mario, or think of your favorite video game, Call of Duty. I don't know. Those are like my only two. Donkey Kong. As you get further and further into the game and you get into these higher levels, the equipment that you need to use also upgrades. The armor that you use upgrades. You can start taking more hits. It takes longer to get you out. Could you imagine being on level 10 or level 20 of some of these video games and only having the tools and resources that you had on level 1? Wouldn't even make any sense. Yet, I see entrepreneurs doing that every single freaking day. They want $1 million. They want to make to level 10. But the systems that they're operating from, the strategy that they're operating from, the accountability that they're operating from, the mindset that they're operating from is not being upgraded. If you were going to go get on stage, as an example, right now is just as good a time as any time. So new missions require new operating systems. Kevin said he talks to a lot of people that say, I want to make 10 grand a month. Starting out, I just need to make 10 grand a month. When you focus on those, I have found that those goals are so low. And let me explain this real quick because I don't want this to turn into a thing where everybody thinks that, oh, they just talk about big goals and it's Grant Cardone all over again. It's just 10x this. 10. Let me explain something to you guys. When you focus on, maybe some of you guys are trying to leave your W-2 and you're like, man, if I had 10 grand a month that I could leave my W-2 with and have coming in, then that would be enough. That would be my first milestone. And then from there, once I leave my W-2, I've got 40 hours a week that have opened up. And then I can use that time to grow my business. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys have ever thought that. Put a 1 in the chat if that sounds like a logical way of thinking. You know, I'll put a 1 in the chat. That was my plan when I got out of the Air Force. When we set our goals that low, it's a safe space for us. 10 grand a month, that seems doable. So when we wake up every day, the caliber of problems we solve and the action that we take is that of $10 an hour tasks. So we tell ourselves, hey, you know what? I don't know how to underwrite. So if I want to leave my W-2, the logical thing would be to spend all my day underwriting or calling sellers or insert whatever $10 an hour task. You can't build $1 million business on $10 an hour tasks. But logically, we're like, hey, I'm just trying to get to $10,000 a month. If I can do that, then I'll be good. Now, let's say you even get a deal or two under your belt and you make 10 grand off a wholesale fee or whatever. The things that you're still doing every single day are $10 an hour tasks. So you become inconsistent. You're not doing enough. You have an invalid worldview on the volume or sheer effort it takes to actually go do something to even produce 10 grand a month consistently. It involves way more than just focusing on $10 an hour tasks. And that thinking will keep you there if it doesn't evolve. And my experience, I don't know, Kevin, you tell me what your guys' experience here. I'd love to hear your and Amber's experience. In my experience, when my business took off, it wasn't 10 grand a month, 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 10 grand a month. And then I made this conscious decision to grow it a little bit more. And then it was 20 grand a month, and then 20 grand a month, and then 20 grand a month, and 20 grand a month, and 20 grand a month. And I was like, now I'm going to go 40. And then it was 40 grand a month, and 40 grand a month, and 40 grand a month, and 40 grand a month. It made linear jumps because I started to understand that the level of effort or my way of thinking wasn't big enough. And so that was kind of it. So my business almost kind of made quantum leaps. They say that your business will never make more money than your level of your own self-development. And especially starting a business from ground zero. Now, when it's up and running and it's consistent and you can kind of, there's a little bit more stability there because you have a business and you have SOPs and you have systems and you have predictability and you have all these things. Starting out, you don't have any of those things. So it requires a different level of effort and perspective. You have to take an idea and then go execute on it. And then you almost have to challenge that same idea from a different perspective. And then you upgrade your thinking, you upgrade your strategy, you upgrade your tactics, you upgrade your systems. The version of you that's working right now, if you guys aren't making 10 grand a month, is not going to be the version of you that gets you to 10 grand a month. So even if you're not making 10 grand a month right now, don't think that it's because you've been at this for a year and you just need to hustle and you just need to stay with it. I'm telling you right now, you're not doing enough. If you're not even making 10 grand a month, and that's not a downplay. I'm not downplaying anybody that's not making 10 grand a month. But if you're not at that milestone yet, then I can already tell you you're not doing enough. You don't have the right strategy. You're not consistent. You're not monitoring your KPIs, or it already requires a level of growth on your behalf. And so it takes just the same time, energy, and effort to evolve to a next level as it does to make these micro steps up. And so why not just completely go all out for it? It takes just as much time, energy, and effort to make 10 grand a month as it does to make 100 grand a month. But it's just the level of action that you take. It's the clarity that you have. It's the level of systems that you put into place. It's the impact that you want to have. And the reason I like coming in here and talking about 10X goals is because already, if we can talk about 10X goals, if we can talk about getting on stages, if we can talk to Ron about creating $10 million worth of impact to the marketplace, then he gets to start working on those chess pieces. He already knows that what he's doing is not going to get him there, and it upgrades his thinking almost instantaneously. He already starts asking himself questions. Okay, in order to do this, what kind of skill sets am I going to have to employ? What kind of systems and consistency am I going to have to oversee? Who do I need to become to go find that talent? My goodness. Dan Martell told me one time, he said, Jesse, I spend probably about 25% of my time day to day just looking for talent. So think about that for a second. How many of you guys have stepped away from underwriting for a day or a week or a month to just do nothing else other than build relationships and find talent to grow your business? Anybody ever hear the Abraham Lincoln quote, if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend 4 hours sharpening my axe? This is what we're talking about. So this is what I want to go over with you guys today. What questions you guys have as of right now? I want to take a couple seconds before we pivot too much. Does anybody have any questions over anything we've gone over so far? Any clarifying questions you guys need? This is the type of stuff we go over every single week, guys. So if you don't have questions, that means you understand it. But to know and not do, let me repeat that again, to know and not do, i.e., you come here and you listen to these things that we're dropping, that we're sharing with you guys, to know and not do is the same as not knowing. Eric says, I have dispo questions not related to this. What kind of dispo questions you got? I mean, automatically I can probably already guarantee my response is going to be volume solves 99% of your problems. So you need to go talk to somebody who's go reach out to 20 different dispo businesses. Larry, you got your hand up, bro? You got a question about this?
Well, in a sense, yeah.
Okay.
I know, but I haven't been doing. And it was last night listening to Pace, and the answer's been in front of me the whole time for the last 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in this transitional housing since I was in the hospital last year, and I've had 5 deals fall apart, including, you know, one like ours. How could we have known that kid didn't? The girlfriend had the bankruptcy on her. Shit that isn't my fault, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the answer was in front of me the whole time. I have the community. I should be buying, not wholesaling. I should get my own co-living, have people bird dog it for me, and reach out to people like Ron or Andrea's at our meetup, Andrea Palmico, get a PML, and get my own room in a co-living house that I own. Have Kyle Carges help me with the GC. He's our regional sub 2 leader now here with Eddie and Ingrid. You know, he was here at the meetup last Friday. I'm like, the answer has been in front of me the whole freaking time. So how do I do it though?
Well, what are the 2 things you need, my friend?
Clarity.
No.
You know the answer, Larry. You can do this. You can absolutely house hack a co-living place. No question about it.
I mean,
You
the
know
key is
how.
here. I just got to get
Hey,
partners.
Pansy said it in the chat.
Deal flow. That's what I need.
You got money lined up already?
Potentially. I mean,
Okay, I'm telling you right now, go raise $1 million and then go focus on buying a deal.
well, I need help to raise that million. How do I do it? What's the pitch? What do I say? That's the help I need.
You got 50 grand right here for the right deal, Larry. It's got to be
Boom.
the
Oh
right
my
deal.
gosh.
I need 50 grand. Let's talk.
Got to be the right deal.
I
This
hear
is like
you.
the Oprah Winfrey show. Guys, you get a deal and you get money and you get a deal. This is the place to be.
Larry, you have such a big community. You could raise $1 million in 2 hours if you focused on that. That's not hyperbole. There's
I
no
can't
way
believe
there's
you
not $1
keep
million
saying that,
in your
though.
community. There's no way.
I think in this room alone, you
There,
got people ready to jump. I'll jump with you, Larry.
Thank you.
Find a deal. We will wedge you. That's one thing I learned with Jesse. You don't put people together, you wedge yourself. I mean, I'll go in with you.
Thank you.
but again, not a lead. It has to be a deal.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what I said. I got to get people to bring me deal flow. I got to put the word out and get the wholesalers to do it. And yeah, you know, and I got this incredible opportunity with Shad. Came up in Noman, Devanya. We sat down with Shad, and I love Myron Briley to death, but I have a better opportunity to use Shad's system. It's the AI is just next level, out of this world. You guys, when you see it, I'll be promoting it. It literally in 27.4 seconds gave 15 comps, 16 pad split comps. And when you open them up, there's a little map, shows how far they are from your subject property. And it does Airbnb rentals and does Section 8 and straight rental comps, all in 24 seconds. 27 seconds. There's a pad split from this deal I have in Atlanta, right? 0.4 of a mile on the same street. It's got 10 rooms, $160 a week.
If you had access to $1 million right now, Larry, how different would your business be in the next 90 days?
Be a lot different.
Be a lot different, right? So where I typed up a question that I'm gonna put in the chat here, and I want you and everybody else to answer this question. But before I do, before I hit enter, I want you to think about this for a second. I want you to think about how the last 12 months have been for you. And I want you to think about what you focused on. I want you to think about what you wake up doing, what time you wake up, what time you go to bed, how many calls you're making, etc. I want you to literally just think about every little thing that you're doing. And then I want you to think about, what would the Larry do if he was worth 7, 8, or 9 figures? I want you to think about how much time, that is a rhetorical question. I want you to just think about this for a second. What has the effort that you've been putting in every single day for the last 12 months? I want you to think about, what result have you gotten over the last 12 months as a byproduct of that? You don't have to answer. I just want you to think about it for a second. And then I want you to think about, let's say you dropped everything that you were doing. Now, I don't even know if you can do that. I don't know where you are in your business or whatever, but I'm just trying to make a point here. Okay. Now I want you to think about, what if you were to literally today, right after this Zoom, drop everything that you were doing? Not some of it, not a couple things, like literally drop everything that you were doing. And you were to only focus on raising capital, which means you have to develop relationships. And I want you to think about, what if you reached out to 10 people a day? Over 30 days, that's 300 people. Over 60 days, that's 600 people. Over 90 days, that's 900 people. Do you have access to more than 900 people in the communities that you're part of, Larry?
Yeah.
Absolutely you do. Well over that, my friend. Now, is that a number that seems that would be so unreasonable? If I was to talk to 900 people, that's probably a number you would agree with, that is virtually impossible to not go raise multiple 7 figures. Would you agree?
Yeah.
I would too. So, where somebody else, or the old version of you, let's say there's a carbon copy of you, and let's say the carbon copy of you does the exact same thing over the next 90 days. I know that you already know what those results are going to be. But this other version of you, let's say over the next 90 days, they do exactly what I just got done describing. Now, what you're going to see is somebody parallel. Like if you were to able to just look through a window every single day, and you're seeing this person working and this person working and this person working, eventually at some point, by watching this other person through this window, this carbon copy of you, you're going to be like, man, oh, dude, oh, I think he's got a deal. He's got a deal. Man, here I am. I'm not doing shit. I'm just sitting here. I'm just talking to people. I haven't done a deal yet. I'm not making money. And you're going to get in your own head. And you're going to see what this person's doing. You're like, oh, man, no, see, oh, dude, you just locked up 3 deals. You just locked up 3 freaking deals. And here I am, not making any money. I'm not doing anything. I'm not calling sellers. I need money right now. I need money right now. I need money right now. And you're going to sabotage the entire plan, because you're going to compare yourself, because you think that busy is the same as being productive. Now, at the end of the 90 days, you already know what the result's going to look like for your carbon copy version of yourself. And at the end of 90 days, you're still not going to have a deal. But let's extend a little bit further. Most people don't look 2 inches beyond the front of their nose. Now let's look at what the next 12 months are going to look like. You got this carbon copy version of you. Only you know where you're at right now and what results you can expect in the next 90 days. But if you take this other route and you just talk to people and you've talked to and connected with and reached out to 900 people, over the next 9 months, this carbon copy of you is going to continue doing the same thing, right? But now, what is this other version of you going to do? Because you will have access to millions. So you tell me now at this point, what does the next 9 months look like for that person? And so seemingly over the course of the next 90 days, it's going to look like there's not much momentum. It's going to look like you're not making any money. And it's going to feel like it. And you're going to get aggravated. And you're going to look and see what other people are doing on social media. That's a metaphor for that window that I was describing. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, these other guys are doing it. These other guys are using AI and getting deals and calling people. And I'm just talking and I'm just, oh, I don't feel like I'm making any money. But this is where people separate themselves. This is where you make quantum leaps. And that goes back to what I was telling Kevin. Like, it's not going to be, you're not going to get to a business, at least starting off in my experience, in any of the businesses that I've ever started. It's not like 10 grand, 10 grand, 10 grand, 10 grand. Okay, cool. Now let's go up to 20 grand, 20 grand, 20 grand, 20 grand. Okay, cool. Now let's go up to 50 grand, 50 grand, 50 grand, 50 grand. You're going to make these quantum leaps. Is this making sense? So at least that's what I did. So I was perfectly fine with looking at what everybody else was doing and not getting shiny object and not feeling like I'm missing out, not feeling like they're getting more deals and they're making more money and they're doing all the things. You have to be comfortable. You have to be 1 out of 1,000. Again, to go make $1 million, guys, you have to look at 999 other freaking people and what they're doing on social media and talking to them at events and doing all these things. And everyone's talking, everyone has a guard up. Everyone has a guard up, and on social media, it looks like everybody's making $1 million, but that's not freaking true. You have to be able to look at what everybody else is doing and say, I'm about to outdo and outwork and outsmart all of you. And yeah, I'm not making any money right now, but watch what happens in the next 6 months. Watch what I do past the next 90 days. It takes just as much time, energy, and effort to go build up these relationships, to go raise capital, as it does to sit there and go make phone calls all day. Same amount of time, energy, and effort. Kevin talks about compounding. That compounding interest of those two activities are going to have drastically different results over the next 12 months. It doesn't even compare. So when I say it takes just as much time, energy, and effort to go make 100 grand a month, it doesn't make 10 grand a month. This is what I'm talking about. It's just a different chess piece. Where are you going to spend your time? So I'm going to put that question right there in the chat, and I want everybody to write it down.
Jesse, can I say that that tracker that you made for us is game changer? It's helped me so much to stay on track.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You're welcome. Kevin, Amber, anything else you guys like to add on here? I'm going to add a couple more questions. I might even put everybody into a, thank you, Larry. Love you, bro. I might even put everybody into a breakout room just to kind of discuss some of these questions. But while I'm typing these questions up, any feedback from either of you, any perspectives, anything you'd like to add?
I'm going to add a couple things quick. I've partnered or owned multiple businesses that actually make revenue. And to your point, Jesse, I've never seen it go 10 grand a month, then linearly 20, then 30. What I've seen more often than not is it's very lumpy. And that spike up, let's say you get 10 grand in, that's capped by what I'm perceiving is realistic or possible. So when you talk about it's not going to outpace my personal growth, part of it is my thermostat of what I set as the standard. You guys know what thermostats are like. I'm sitting in my car and I'm hot right now. Don't have the AC on. Normal person that's hot, what are they going to do? Fire up the car? You're gonna turn on the AC. Now, if it was freezing right now, I'd turn on the car, turn on the heat, bring that temperature back to what feels like equilibrium. And the same is true with your income. If your thermostat is set at, let's say, 10 grand a month, whenever it goes above Oh, okay, we can relax. We can just calm down now. Oh, payday, let's go celebrate. And then eventually that money leaves you. It drops below and you start scrambling and go, oh, we need that extra, we need to get back to 10 grand. And track in your own life where your thermostat's likely been set. I guarantee there's a point in your bank account that if you see this amount coming in monthly, you're like, oh, I feel safety. And if it rises above, you just let it go in some way, shape, or form. You buy something, you spend it on an experience, you put it away in, I don't know, crypto, or put it as a down payment on a property, and now you're back out of cash. And then you scramble to get it again. And so, to the point that Jesse's making, I've never seen it linearly. If anything, the business has been capped by where I'm willing to set the thermostat. Humans are driven by emotion. We move towards pleasure and away from pain. So if you want a quick how-to, start noticing that the level I've been comfortable at is no longer okay. Start noticing pain around that I'm solving smaller problems and I'm getting the same results. And if I want my income to rise, I need to just rise in that thermostat and start setting a new standard at which I'm willing to play at. I want you to do this with your bank account. Think about wherever I've been at of what's comfortable in there right now. What if I were to double it and say, if it goes below that, we're getting after it? What about tripling it? If it goes below that, we're getting after it. And you can rise that number up and up until it becomes uncomfortable. So to the point of the business, it's fundamentally different though when what Jesse, you're saying, if I start going an order of magnitude different of where I've been setting it, it fundamentally changes the approach. So if I'm solving something for how do I step into the business, the version that does 7 to 8 figures? To Jesse's question, probably 80+% of what I'm doing, I need to let go of in order to get at that level. And I'm going to reiterate that in order to go in magnitude above, I'm probably going to need to let go of about 80% of what I'm currently focused on, because the approach would fundamentally change. Great audit. So with that, I want everyone to still sit with this question that Jesse put in the chat. Amber, any thoughts?
I had similar experiences. I feel like when I first changed my mindset, I grew exponentially. It wasn't a 10x. It was more of a 100x, but it went from 500 to 1500 to 5,000 to 20,000 to like there wasn't a way to. It wasn't just like 1x, 2x, 3x. It wasn't that. It was like chunks. And then when I hit my pain point, it went all the way down. You know what I mean? And I feel like one thing that happened is I was very happy. I'm happy with my level of ambition and the way that I show up. But I did lose the one thing that was really good for me, which was the KPIs that I had. And as I was growing and scaling, I should have implemented a team at that point to keep that going. Because if I had done that, then when my business tanked and I hit a pain point, the team would have still been there to catch it. I would have still had deals of money. And so the pain point that I'm now having to scale back up from, which I'm happy to do, and I know I'll reach there, is a hard, expensive lesson. It's because I didn't consistently do what I needed to do. And it's because I couldn't do it on my own. And I should have implemented somebody else to do it while I had the cash coming in to do that. And so I'm just grateful to have learned that lesson now, honestly, because it's something that I can change. So yeah, I appreciate both of you for sharing that.
You're welcome. You are most welcome. For those of you guys that didn't see, Jordana went ahead and shared the KPI tracker that she got from me. Thank you for doing that, Jordana. Appreciate you, friend. You're awesome. Please give Jordana some love, guys. She really came through. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, here's what I want to do. Did everybody see the 3 questions that I put in the chat? I'm going to put you guys into a breakout room, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure once I put you guys into a breakout room that you guys are going to lose access to that chat. So I need you to please write down those 3 questions. So I'm going to give you guys maybe about 5 minutes or so to kind of just talk about some of these questions with your guys's pod, with your breakout room, and then we'll kind of come back and debrief a little bit on this. Oh, I just put them in there, March. I just put them in there. You should be able to access them there if you scroll up. Let me see. Somebody finds it before me. You mind throwing all 3 of them in there? See if I can copy and paste it from the chat.
Troy dropped them in.
Oh. Troy, dude, you're the man, bro. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I want you guys to write these questions down. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to write them down. Or take a picture of it on your phone, or whatever you got to do. I'm going to put everybody into a breakout room. And Kevin and Amber and myself will kind of just bounce from the breakout rooms, just kind of listen in, see what questions you guys got, and then let's debrief this. All right. Everybody should be good to go. Larry, did you get it, bro? I jumped in there and I was like, did Amber leave? And he's like, no. She just jumped to the main room. I was like, oh, okay. All right, cool. Cool. All right. Where did everybody go? I feel like we lost almost half the people.
I know. Where is everybody?
Well, I didn't know how to leave the breakout room. Some people automatically got booted out, but some of us got left in.
Interesting. Yeah, we lost almost half the people. I don't know where everybody went.
Well,
Scared 'em.
one,
Well,
one,
you got a few popping back in.
yes,
Oh, here we go.
There they go.
Just a lag.
yeah.
They're on dial up.
AOL.
What? They still have dial-up? No way.
Oh, girl, you haven't been to Alaska, have you?
Oh, shame.
That's all they have in Alaska.
And we just invented the wheel last week, guys.
Oh,
Hey,
you know,
what
when I was living in Alaska, Jesse, and I was working for Arco Oil and Gas, which doesn't even exist anymore. Now it's BP. And I was working in accounting, and I was talking to this lady in New York, and she literally asked me, "So are you still having problems with the natives there?"
Oh,
And I was like, yes, actually, we had to pull all the wagons into the fort. It was ugly, you know, and she was taking it all. I'm like, oh my gosh, honey. I said, we have a McDonald's here. You know what I'm saying? You know, shoot. Oh, people are funny.
Hey, Jesse, what happened to Kevin? I think I zapped him out. I was talking to him and he's gone.
He texted Amber and I. He's like, hey, just so you know, I don't have a charger and I'm on my phone.
All right.
And so, yeah, that's
I just
probably
wanted to
what
make
happened.
sure I didn't scare him or something. It seems like I talked to him and he was zipped, gone. It's so funny.
Well, I can't speak for Kev. You might have, but
Okay,
odds are
that's
what
okay.
happened is he probably just lost or drained his battery already.
He texted me too, Miri, and yes, you did scare him.
Oh, I love it. Well, guys, a couple of you guys come off mute. What were some of the things that you guys talked about? Did anybody have any like aha moments, or was there kind of a perspective change at all? Amber, I know you and Julio were talking a little bit. Let's get somebody come off mute, guys. This is the neat thing about these growth calls, that we get to be a little bit smaller. They're a little bit more intimate, so they allow for all of us to kind of learn and grow from each other.
Yeah, this is Julian. I'll hop in.
Oh, Julian, yeah, bro.
Hey. So this is actually an attempt at me just making myself more available. You know, one of the things that I shared, as far as like one of the beliefs that I've held on to and is no longer serving me, is just my me staying as far away from social media as I naturally can. I don't have a natural inclination toward it. I am a millennial. Facebook came out after I was out of high school. And so, you know, from there, it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. All right, so what are we doing? You know, so it never really had any. I just got Instagram last year. So everything is like so new right now. And I'm struggling through just connecting because I'm coming out of this hiatus from, you know, social media, but I'm growing my business and I've been, you know, full-time entrepreneur in real estate for about 2 years now. And I've done it successfully outside of social media, but now it's just time for me to make those connections. Being on here today is a part of me just, you know, obviously from social media. And so, yeah, once upon a time it served me, but now I'm really just breaking out of that space to make myself available and share the knowledge. I've learned a lot, and if I do nothing but just share the speed bumps that I've hit along the way, I think it could benefit somebody.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I feel like you're putting yourself in a pigeonhole by that, saying that with the social media thing. Just embrace it. Go with it. Jesse is a firm, big believer of just look silly. Who cares? Just get
Yeah.
up and do it.
Julian, have you seen my hair lately?
Well, honestly, there's nothing, like, I don't mind how I show up on social media. I'm not nervous about it. I really don't care what people have to say about it. And I don't mean that insensitively. I just genuinely don't. And it's more so, I think it's just a personal thing. I just have zero desire. Like,
Yeah.
as much as I want to go take a cold plunge, I have no desire.
Right. I feel
And
you.
so, yeah, and so now, you know, my life is saying, hey, Julian, you got to do it. It doesn't matter if you don't want to do it. You got to do it. And that's kind of where I'm at now. So your point about pigeonhole, um, I would like to hear more about that, because you were talking about, people always say 10x and 10,000. I adopted. I want to do 1,000x, and that's just kind of where I'm at this point in my life. Like, let's just tear down the walls and break the barriers and go far and fast. And so I would like even your feedback on how to maximize social media even more, and come out of my comfort zone even more to really just put myself out there.
Julian,
So as
can I,
somebody who
Jesse,
lives,
sorry, can I share something? Sorry,
yeah,
sorry
of
to cut
course.
you off. I'll just give you a good example. Do you see this guy on the Jeremiah Smith right over there? He doesn't like being in social media too.
Okay.
But I told him, you didn't like to go and it's hard for you. But if you just show your story, just tell whatever you're doing. And he started, and he's a rock star. He just sharing with you whatever he's doing. And I attended one of his presentation on, like how to call this, like raising funds. I was blown away. This guy
Wow.
doesn't like talking, but when he started, he realized, oh, he doesn't have, he's not comfortable at it. He doesn't like talking too much. But as for me too, what works for me is I just share what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll pray for people, like right on the spot, or sometimes I'll just sing or show them what I'm doing. Like I'm looking at this property. So just the authenticity of who you are, and then you can also, at least it's also a blue ocean when you talk about your, it's hard for you to show up here and maybe you're talking to some people like you and then they can relate. They're like,
Right.
whoa, I'm not alone. This guy is sending a message. They can learn something from you. Think about what you can share to people. You can actually impact people. I don't know. I just
Thank you.
wanted to
No,
send
thank
that.
you. No, I appreciate that. Really,
Thank
thank
you
you.
for that, March. I'm looking at the chat as March was talking. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that, March. Yeah, Jeremiah is a fantastic example. I'm looking at the chat, and there's a couple people in there that are like, yeah, hey, you know what? I don't prefer social media. I can relate to this. Social media is not my biggest thing. And you know what, Julian? Like, hard to believe, but I hate social media. I despise it. I hate the fact that my business has to grow by me dedicating time to create these stupid videos. And I've got to sit down and tell my kids, hey, I'm not going to play with you. I need you to give me 30 minutes because daddy's got to create content. You know how stupid that sounds? So just know, I relate 100% with that. I think it's stupid as hell that we can't just go and do it, that we can't just go and build. And now you can't. To your point, and not only can you, you've done it. What it comes down to is ROI. When I was talking earlier, when we started this, we talked about the speaking competition that we're having. Were you on here the whole time since we started? Did you hear me talk about all that?
No, I missed the first 5 minutes, I think, something.
Okay. So Amber and I, long story short, Amber and I are speaking at an event in Orlando in front of 1,000 people at the end of the year. We got to know the event promoter really well, who, by the way, I only was able to make that connection because I was active on social media.
Yeah.
But we got to know the event promoter pretty well. And we said, hey, we'd love to offer somebody else the opportunity to grow their business by speaking on stage with us. What if we were to hold a competition and just give somebody who otherwise may not have ever had that opportunity? And so now, because we put this out there on social media and said, hey, Kevin, myself, and Amber are going to be speaking in front of 1,000 people. We're going to hold a competition, and we're going to judge this competition. And everybody who participates, we're going to select a winner to come and speak at this event. So some lucky winner who otherwise probably never would have had the opportunity to speak on a stage of that caliber, at least this early on, is now going to be afforded that opportunity. Because they were active on social media.
Yeah. Yeah,
Now,
I get it.
Now, once they get down there and they're on stage, what kind of credibility does that build? If you're looking for capital,
Right.
are you ahead of everybody else in that room now?
Right. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Everybody knows you. You have complete control of that room. If
Mm-hmm.
you want to put a QR code up on the projector, and before you even start, have everybody take out their phones and go follow you, boom, you just got 1,000 more followers. You just got
Right.
1,000 more people that you can DM and say, hey, thank you for the follow. Are you here for
Right.
content? Or are you trying to grow your business?
Yeah.
So it gives you a much, much higher ROI. 15, 20 minutes in front of 1,000 people is a much, much higher ROI than ripping out the yellow pages, right? Millennial, ripping out the yellow pages or some shit, or the white pages and just going down and just cold calling people.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
about
quantum leap,
ROI is what it comes
like
down
you
to. So
said.
social media is the exact same thing. It's about ROI. Can you accomplish 10 times more with doing way, 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 way less? And the
Yeah.
answer is yes. Because
Yeah.
this game, to scale a business, this whole game, Julian, is not about who you know. I used to think it was who you know. This whole game is who you know. Real estate's relationships. It's all about who you know. It's all about who you know. You probably heard something similar.
Yeah.
I've learned that it's not about who you know. It's about who knows you.
Okay. All right. Never heard that before. All right. I like it. Okay.
You can't go raise more money if people don't know who you are.
Mm. Mm.
You can't
Okay.
go buy more properties if wholesalers don't know who you are. Amber, anything else you want to add on there? Amber's a huge social media guru. Like, you will learn tons from social media from her. She is phenomenal. She's a good person to learn from when it comes to social media. I mean, she's actually done quite a few things to help expedite a lot of the stuff that she's doing as well.
Doesn't look like it from my social media, but I will say, Julian, I have learned a whole lot, and it has. I don't have a lot of followers, but I have very intentional followers, and so it
Yeah.
helps me to do a lot of deals. My Threads account, which I've been focusing on, and then number two is I'm implementing a lot of LinkedIn, but my personality comes through in Meta, so Facebook, Instagram, but
Yeah.
with Threads, like, I'm literally, that's my most intentional one. I'm growing that hand over fist just with my network. I'm
What is
batching
that?
a lot of things. So Threads is an extension of Meta. It's part of
Okay.
Instagram, and it's similar to X or Twitter. Like, it's just like you can just write one-liners. And I've
Okay.
really cracked the code on what that looks like by asking a combination of questions and then, like, pouring into people. I notice
Okay.
if I just ask questions, it doesn't grow as much, but I've been able to network with people, like, in person, online, get invited to events. Like, a lot of people are DMing me now that they've added DMs. The views are a lot, but the interaction is just, like, I was looking this morning and I think I had 1,500 interactions in the last few days. And it was just
Mm.
like, that's a lot of interactions.
Yeah.
It may not sound like a lot, but it is, because those are people, like, literally texting me back and forth. And so I think that because of that, they'll start following me on Instagram or DMing me there, and then just
That
watching,
makes
watching,
sense.
watching, watching. And then suddenly it's like, bam, I sent something out the other day. I met the guy from Threads. He followed me on Instagram, and then I said something. He's like, I want to know more about that. Can we partner?
Mm.
And that was just literally organic traffic. Like, I didn't have to do much other than just batch my content and go in for 15 minutes a couple times a day and respond to people. That's literally it. It's running on autopilot at this point. So, and that's just Threads. I feel like if I could master every single one of them, and really hone in on every single one of them, I can't even imagine the explosion. Like, there's no way to fail at that point. Like, literally, it's not going to happen. So,
Wow.
I don't know.
So do I need a social media coach?
No.
Okay.
You're in
You
the
just need
social
it.
media coach right now, friend.
Yeah, I mean, like, dedicated. I'm like, man, this is what you just said
Every
seemed like the
Thursday.
key. Yeah. True, true,
There's,
true, true.
there's a lot of people that will offer their services, Julian, but here's the thing. And you can pay for that. Like I pay for a lot of services myself,
Mhm.
but I think just getting started is going to produce the biggest ROI for you. Just post. Look at what Peter's doing. He just started and he's already exponentially growing in the past few days. And he just started. And Aaron and Ron and Jeremiah, like these people that were just with us in Salt Lake City, I've seen an explosion in what they're doing. Like I said, they're all over my feed. And that's because they're posting so much that the algorithm keeps pushing them to me. Imagine somebody who's just watching them, like I'm their friend, but imagine somebody else who is watching on the sidelines. Like I want to see what they're up to. And then they're getting bombarded with what they're doing over and over. At some point, somebody's going to be so curious that they're going to be like, oh, I got to find out more about this. And it's got to be volume. It's got to be KPIs. That's literally it. You can start not knowing what you're doing and then you'll grow.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Julian, take down my number and reach out to me.
Okay.
I'm in the same boat, man. I've got socks older than you, but I hate social media. I mean, I hate it, but it's where all the eyeballs are. I mean, if that would be like a major company 30 years ago saying, well, I hate television, so I'm not going to advertise there.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. Good luck with that strategy. So
Yeah.
they're all there. And the more than that, more than just knowing I need to be there. I made such a mindset shift 2 weeks ago in Salt Lake City. It's now actually easy for me. It was so hard for me before. Like I couldn't do this. And just knowing a couple little things. I mean, Chat GPT is your friend, man. You have ideas like, hey, you know what? You need to be, if you want new people, you need to be creating Instagram reels. I can tell you that right now. Go into Chat GPT and say, create me a Instagram reel, target dog catchers, and I want to talk to them about what's the best kibble, and give me a great hook and a call to action. And go plug that in right now. You'll be blown, even though that's not what you want, you will be blown away by what it produces. It's
I'm listening.
unbelievable. You have everything you need. And then when you get stuck, like I didn't even know how to use Instagram. It was pissing me off. It's so hard.
I still don't.
Like, okay, how do I put, go to ChatGPT. How do I make the text? These people have got text that pops up and then it disappears. And then another text pops up. I can't how do you do that?
You sound like me, man.
30 seconds, done.
And
you
I
can
was just
create
gonna
a reel in 3 minutes. And my last reel got 620 views and people spent an hour watching it. It takes 5 minutes to create. That's
Peter,
and that's just fun.
I want to say something just to that, Peter. Exactly. I'm sorry to cut you off. Exactly what you just said, because I know we're over time and I'm going to give it over to Jesse, but I want to say something that's not just to Julian. It is for Julian, but it's for everybody here. Did you hear what Peter just said about one reel got 600 views? My average threads are getting one to 7,000 views. His one reel just got 600 views. Now, we started this by talking about speaking on stages. Jesse and I and Kevin are going to speak on a stage in Orlando with 1,000 people. 1.7 views on a thread is over 1,000 people that's watching you. That is a stage. Peter's 600 views on his reel, that is a stage. 600 views. What if you were standing in front of 600 people on a stage? It is a stage. He just did that. He just stood in front of 600 people that watched his reel. 600 people.
And 85% of those are people that I don't know. Only 15% were followers because it's a reel. And I asked Jesse, I didn't even know what a reel was 2 weeks ago. I really didn't know what that meant. And think fishing, man, because you are casting it out there and you are fishing for new people. And I'm telling you, if you do it with intention and use ChatGPT and have a hook, it works. And that's only like the second real post I've ever when I say real, REAL, like most of my social media historically, I'll just post something just to be out there. No hook, no strategy, no intention. I've only started posting stuff with intention for like 72 hours. And I'm up to 600 views. I mean, I can't even imagine how many views I'll have 30 days from now.
And it's there on the internet. Like it's a carbon copy of you that's there forever. It's going to continue fishing new people while you sleep. That's what we're talking about, Julian, when we talk about ROI. It's like as stupid as it is, and of a pain in the ass as it is, it's like you can't beat that ROI.
Yeah.
I had someone just comment on my Salt Lake thing. And then I saw them, they went to each different thing. So there's a new person and it just kind of rolled around the algorithm and it's a week and a half later. I'm doing a Zoom on Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. I don't know what time zone you're in. I'm Eastern, to help people get started and change their mindset around social media. I felt the same way. I sounded like a robot. I didn't want to do it. I just had my first coaching in live person coaching clients day. They reached out to me on social media. He said, I watched your story. I saw you getting your confidence back and building yourself up. I watched your speech on that stage and I want your help.
I have to say, y'all have actually got me excited. And I have not ever been excited about social media.
Let's go.
But y'all got me excited. Like I really am ready to go try some stuff.
So we better see you every Thursday here then.
Let's do it. Let's
100%. 100%. You guys are awesome. You guys, thank you guys for being here. We're going to wrap this up really quick. Julian, thank you for your questions. Thank you for everybody who contributed. I really, really appreciate and love you guys. I was supposed to have a team meeting 8 minutes ago, and they're like, "We're Jesse. We need the Zoom. We need the Zoom." So I'm going to wrap up here real quick. I saw Alicia asked. I don't think that we've. I think I posted I posted this on my stories. I think a couple days ago. Here's the link. Everybody, click this link right now so you have it. I'm getting ready to end this Zoom. My birthday was on Tuesday, and I told everybody I'd open up a limited number of seats. Usually this has become an annual thing. It's a once a year. We do these events once a year. Alicia was asking about Salt Lake. We just got done doing our Salt Lake City event. Not some people, not a portion of people, not a good chunk of people, literally every single person who came to Salt Lake had one of the biggest breakthroughs and one of the biggest transformations ever, if not the biggest. And anybody who's in Salt Lake City right now, if you disagree with this, please tell me.
No, sir.
We agree.
Not a chance. Yep. It's the best ever. Life-changing.
It was so good. We had no, thank you guys. We had no intention on doing this again until next year. And the next year, the next 6 to 12 months was going to be for everybody who came to Salt Lake. The next event was going to be for them specifically to build on what we went through in Salt Lake. But we thought, man, it would be such a hindrance and a disservice to people who need this transformation so that they can actually go make the money that they need to make. So I went ahead and put the link right here in the chat. We're going to host another event in September. This is going to be your last chance for the year to get in on this.
The repeat of what we just did.
You're going to experience everything that everybody went and just experienced a couple weeks ago. I put a special discount in there because it's my birthday week. And this isn't a sales pitch, but prices are going to go up because we know what it's worth.
By a lot.
Should it, Peter, what do you think? What do you think prices, what do you think it would be worth?
It's a $5,000 event, Jesse, easy.
No, but this was only 3 days though, Peter.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
You're right. $15,000. I meant 5,000 a day.
Yeah.
See, look, and I'm not on commission. I don't work for Jesse. I've been to a lot of events. I don't say life-changing about anything. I don't throw words around lightly. I'm not the same person I was. the only way you won't get value is if you don't show up. That's the only way. If you're ready to bust out of your current situation and you don't show up to this room, I don't know what to tell you.
I have told
Show
multiple
up.
people that at VIP, I was at VIP with Ron, which being two of us and being Ron made it an exceptional experience. And I said it was worth $8,000 to $10,000 worth of coaching. One-on-one. I would not say to you when I got there that I want to sit down and personally coach people. And I did that today. With Creighton kicking my ass every step of the way. Loving.
Love that.
And
Thank you,
somebody
guys.
else gets help. It's just paying it forward.
That's true.
Yeah, if I were
I-
you guys, Jesse, I would feel with what happened in that room, I would feel like I'm obligated to do this again.
Yes.
It was that good. I mean, it's
Well, you come to the event without expecting it. I came there to win, rah, 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 to learn, take notes, and no, I got to get to know myself more. I dug deep, like what they teach you. Everything is connected to your identity. How you let people treat you is connected to your identity. How you show up is connected to your identity. How your mind thinks, how you're able to see the opportunities outside is connected to you. How you relate to people, it's all connected. So I just had that clarity of mind, and knowing who you are even more. I just the fear is lesser, and connecting with these people at a deep level without really intention. I didn't intend to have best friends there, but I came home with brothers and sisters that whatever we need, we just a phone call away. There will always make ourselves available to anybody. I don't know how to explain it. You gotta be there. It's like, if you know, right? I have no words until now. Sometimes when I think of them, I literally cry. I just made a video this Sunday, and I'm like, I'm thinking about you guys. I'm crying because I got so connected to the soul. Even your weaknesses, they see that. But what happened to the group is we carried each other. We carried each other, and we relied on each other's strength. And whatever I know, I'm willing to teach. And whatever they know, they're teaching me now. Now it's in real life story. We're doing that. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just go. Do yourself a favor. It's really best I've ever been.
You guys are going to make us cry. Thank you. We received that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for showing up. I hope you guys got some value from today. If you guys want more information, next Salt Lake City, we'll see you guys in September. This is going to be awesome. It's going to be phenomenal. You guys got special pricing on there because it was pretty awesome. Pricing is going to go up. And so we like to make these small and exclusive, because that is when you get results like what these guys are talking about. So there are limited seats. This isn't going to be an open thing where there's just hundreds and hundreds of people. You want the transformation, you've got to be here. It's exclusive. So how fast can you go from idea to execution? Only you can answer that. I love you all. Amber, thank you for jumping on today. Kevin, love you, Kimber. Maybe that should be your guys' like celebrity name, like Brangelina. Kimber.
Okay.
Now I can just say thank you, Kimber, and I don't have to go through the list of thank yous. Just thank you, Kimber. Good night.
Call me whatever you want, Jesse. I'm open to name calling.
Well, we won't go there. I appreciate y'all. Love you guys. Thank you for jumping on. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good weekend.